Hello and welcome to Chat About number 10 or 0010. Today we're going to talk about video in video. Something very, very easy to do and very, very effective. So here we are in Premier Elements, our chosen program for the time being. This is 2020, but you could use any version pretty much. So the first thing, I've already added a couple of assets into the project assets. So you simply drag your first video, your main background video, down onto timeline 1, and there we are. Then you want to drag down your narrator, your video that you want in the video on top. But obviously it's too big at the moment, so there's a couple of ways of resizing it. One is, as long as that is highlighted, you'll notice that there are some little markers on the corners. You can simply click with your left button, drag it to the size you want it, position it where you want it, and play. But you'll notice that the background sound is probably a bit too loud. We're not really dealing with sound, but there's simple ways of doing that. Click on the background, drag the volume on the audio timeline down, and that will adjust the volume of it. You can also, another way of adjusting the volume, again making sure that the volume is highlighted, you can quite simply go into these sliders and you'll find volume, and you can adjust the level here. Now that's a lot finer adjustment than dragging this up and down. For this purpose we don't really want the volume, so we're going to delete the volumes. Right click, delete audio, click on the narrator, delete audio. We don't need that for this example. I mentioned that you could resize this by dragging these buttons around. You can also do it quite simply by going onto the FX button here, going on to motion, and you can rescale using the slider. You can also reposition by hovering over the position buttons, holding your left mouse button down and moving your mouse left and right, and that will also reposition the narrator as well. Now if you don't necessarily want all this background on the narrator, you just want more of the face, but that's the video you've got, there is a way to do that as well. Making sure that the narrator's video is clicked and selected. Come on to FX and click on the little magnifying glass and type in crop, and you will see this button appear. Simply click on that, left click on it, and drag it down onto the video that you want to crop, and then you will see in the applied effects this button here pops up, and again left clicking and sliding you can adjust the size of the video that's shown. Again you can then click on that and drag that around wherever you want. And that's that. It's quite simple. There are lots of other things you can do though, a bit more fancy if you wish. So I've added another asset into the project assets, which is the silhouette JPEG. Now we're going to need another video timeline, so we go on to video timeline 3, and we will drag that down for the time being onto anywhere in the timeline. Now the higher up something is on this timeline, it will appear on the top. Anything that's high up on here will appear on the top. Anything that's down below will be hidden. So this video, the narrator, we want to be underneath. I'll show you why in a minute. The main video we want to be on top, so we'll drag that up high. We'll drag the narrator low, and we'll put this silhouette in the middle and expand that to the size of the video. Okay. Now you'll notice now that because this video's on the top of the timeline, it's all you can see. But we're going to resize that by dragging on the button and moving it there. And we want the narrator to appear here in the wheel. Well, you remember what we did with green screen? Now I designed this background and silhouette very quickly earlier in Photoshop Elements. So again, we're going to go to FX, and in here we're going to put in green, and you'll see green screen key. Drag that down onto the silhouette, and it has already turned the back wheel. The green has disappeared. But if we temporarily bring this one here so we can see where we're moving it, and if we drag the narrator down to roughly where the wheel is, there you go, you can see the narrator now has appeared inside back wheel because we've used a chrome key on it. Drag that back there. So you'll now see, if we play that we have the narrator talking in the back wheel and the main video showing on the left hand side, which is another way you can do things. You don't have to use the green screen. You can also save that as a GIF with the transparency in the back wheel as well. That's just as easy to do. Okay, so what else can you do with it? Lots of things. So I've now put into project asset something I did earlier, which is a picture of a television in a shop. You know how they put them on the wall. So let's get rid of the silhouette. We don't need that anymore. And the TV. Remember we said anything that's on the bottom goes behind, anything that's above it goes on top. So we can see what we're doing. We drag the timeline marker over the video. They're quite simple. Click on the video, the top video. You can resize that to fit in the TV. If it doesn't fit perfectly, then you can always use the crop command, you know, the crop effect. That's close enough for what I want to demonstrate. And you could also then click on the narrator. Now he's disappearing behind. Why is that? Because he's underneath on the timeline. So it's quite easy. You just swap them around. And he's now on top. So there you go. Now we've got our video on top of a graphic, that could just as easily be a video as well. And you could have video on video on video. It's infinite how many videos on videos. I say infinite if you've got lots and lots of memory, otherwise kaboom, it's going to crash. And there you go. And you can take that to whatever extremes you want. Let me show you. There we go, and there we have it. Can you play that now? You'll notice that you've got different videos all showing, narrator all showing. So really, you're only limited by your computer's capabilities and by your imagination. So go play. Take care, bye-bye.